Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Emma, and I'm really excited for today's conversation because it's something we've all experienced at some point.
Hello, guys. Alex here. And yeah, I feel like this is one of those situations where no matter how prepared you think you are, there's always that moment of panic.
Oh, absolutely. That moment where your mind just goes completely blank.
Exactly. You walk in feeling confident, and then suddenly you're like, wait, what was I even going to say?
I think the pressure really gets to people. It's not just about answering questions, it's about proving yourself in a short amount of time.
Right. And it feels like every little detail matters. The way you sit, the way you speak, even the way you smile.
And sometimes we overthink it so much that we forget to just be ourselves.
That's so true. People try to sound perfect instead of sounding real.
Let me ask you this. Do you think preparation actually makes a big difference, or is it more about confidence?
I think it's both. Preparation gives you confidence. Like if you've done your homework, you naturally feel more relaxed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because when you know what you're talking about, you don't have to fake anything.
Exactly. And it's not just about knowing your own experience, but also understanding where you're going.
That's a really good point.
And you know what's interesting? A lot of people focus only on what they're going to say, but not how they say it.
Oh, yes, tone, body language, eye contact, all of that matters so much.
I remember once I was so focused on giving the right answers that I completely forgot to relax.
And let me guess, it didn't go as planned?
Not at all.
Same here. I've had moments where I thought, okay, that could have gone way better. But I think those experiences are actually helpful.
Definitely. You learn more from the ones that don't go perfectly.
Exactly. It teaches you what to improve next time.
Another thing I've noticed is that people get stuck on certain questions.
Oh, like the classic ones?
Yeah, the ones everyone expects but still struggles with.
I think it's because people try to memorize answers instead of understanding what they want to say.
That's a big mistake, because the moment the question is slightly different, everything falls apart.
Yes, and then you start panicking.
And when you panic, you rush.
And when you rush, you make mistakes.
It's like a chain reaction.
So, what do you think is the best way to handle that situation?
Honestly, just pause.
Pause?
Yeah, take a second, think, and then answer. It's okay to take your time.
That's actually really good advice. People think they need to answer instantly.
Exactly, but a thoughtful answer is always better than a fast one.
Let's talk about first impressions for a second.
Ah, yes, the first few seconds that decide everything.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is, but at the same time, it's also an opportunity.
How so?
Because you can set the tone right from the start. A smile, a confident greeting, it goes a long way.
That's true. Energy matters.
And here's something people don't talk about enough: listening.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like really listening to the question instead of assuming what they're asking.
That's so important because sometimes we hear a keyword and jump to an answer.
Exactly, and then you realize that wasn't even the question.
That's happened to me before.
Same here.
I feel like there's also this fear of making mistakes.
Yeah, people think one wrong answer will ruin everything.
But that's not really how it works, right?
Not at all. Everyone makes small mistakes. What matters is how you recover.
That's such a powerful point.
And confidence doesn't mean being perfect.
It means being comfortable with who you are.
Exactly.
You know what I've always found interesting?
What's that?
That moment when they ask if you have any questions,
Oh, yes. A lot of people just say no.
which is a missed opportunity,
Huge missed opportunity.
because that's your chance to show curiosity.
And also to understand if it's the right fit for you.
It really turns the whole thing into a two-way conversation.
Exactly. It's not just about being chosen, it's also about choosing.
I like that perspective.
And honestly, even after everything, there's still that waiting period.
Oh, the waiting is the hardest part.
Checking your phone every few minutes.
Refreshing your email again and again.
and overthinking every single answer you gave.
Why did I say that?
I should have said something else.
But I guess that's all part of the experience.
Yeah, and every time you go through it, you get a little better,
A little more confident
a little more prepared.
and a lot more aware of yourself. And that awareness changes everything, honestly, because once you start understanding how you respond in these situations, you stop being surprised by your own reactions.
Exactly. You start recognizing patterns, like, okay, I tend to get nervous when I'm asked something unexpected, or I rush when I feel pressure.
And once you know that, you can actually work on it instead of just hoping it doesn't happen again.
That's such a powerful shift, moving from just reacting to actually improving.
I also think people underestimate how important it is to reflect afterward.
Oh, yes, that moment when you sit down and replay everything in your head.
Yeah, but instead of overthinking it in a negative way, you can actually turn it into something useful.
Like asking yourself, what went well and what could I do better next time?
Exactly, because if you only focus on what went wrong, you miss out on your progress.
And progress is what really matters.
And you know what's interesting? Sometimes the things we think went wrong weren't even noticed.
That's so true.
Like, you might think, oh, I paused too long, or I didn't explain that perfectly.
Meanwhile, the other person might be thinking, that was a thoughtful answer.
Exactly. We're usually way harder on ourselves than anyone else is.
Way harder.
I think that self-criticism can actually hold people back.
Yeah, because it creates this fear of making mistakes.
And when you're afraid of making mistakes, you stop taking natural pauses. You stop thinking clearly,
And you start trying to be perfect.
which ironically makes things worse.
You know what I've realized? The people who come across the most confident are not the ones who never make mistakes.
They're the ones who don't panic when they do.
Exactly.
They just handle it smoothly and move on.
And that makes such a difference in how they're perceived.
Another thing that comes with experience is knowing how to guide the conversation a little.
That's interesting. What do you mean by that?
Like, instead of just answering questions, you can shape your answers in a way that highlights what you want them to know about you.
Oh, I like that.
So even if the question is simple, you can use it as an opportunity to bring in your strengths or experiences.
That's actually a really smart approach.
But again, that comes with practice.
Everything comes back to practice, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
And not just practicing answers, but practicing thinking, speaking, and staying calm.
I feel like staying calm is probably the hardest part.
Oh, definitely.
Because no matter how much you prepare, there's always that moment where your heart starts beating faster.
And your mind starts racing,
And you're like, okay, just don't mess this up.
which is the worst thing to tell yourself.
Exactly.
It's so much better to just focus on the moment instead of the outcome.
Yeah, like just listening, understanding, and responding.
Instead of thinking 10 steps ahead.
And I think people forget that it's okay to be human in these situations.
Yes, you don't have to be robotic,
In fact, being too robotic can actually work against you.
because it feels unnatural.
Exactly. People connect with authenticity, not perfection.
And connection is such a big part of it.
It really is.
Because at the end of the day, people want to work with someone they feel comfortable around.
Not just someone who gives perfect answers.
You know what else I think is important?
What?
Energy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like the energy you bring into the room or the conversation.
Yeah, it's contagious.
If you come in feeling positive and engaged, it changes the whole vibe.
But if you come in nervous and closed off, it shows too.
And it's not about pretending to be energetic.
It's about being genuinely interested.
Exactly.
I also think people should give themselves more credit.
I agree.
Like, if you've made it to that point, you've already done something right.
That's such a good reminder.
You're there for a reason.
And sometimes we forget that and start doubting ourselves.
Yeah, that self-doubt can sneak in really quickly.
But the moment you start trusting yourself a little more,
Everything starts to feel a bit easier.
not easy, but easier.
Yeah, let's not say easy.
Definitely not easy,
Not at all.
but manageable.
Exactly.
And I think that's the goal, really, not to eliminate the challenge, but to handle it better each time.
To grow with every experience.
and to keep improving without putting too much pressure on yourself.
Because pressure doesn't help performance.
It just makes everything harder.
And the more you go through these experiences,
The more you start to understand what works for you.
and what doesn't,
And that personal understanding is something no one can teach you directly.
you have to experience it yourself.
And maybe that's why, even though it feels stressful in the moment,
It's still worth going through.
because every single time,
You come out a little stronger
a little more confident.
and a little more in control of yourself.
And once you reach that point where you start trusting your own ability to handle things,
That's when everything starts to shift
that's when you stop fearing the situation.
and start facing it with a completely different mindset. And I think that shift doesn't happen overnight. It's something that builds slowly with every experience you go through.
Yeah, it's like you don't even realize it at first. But then one day you walk into the same kind of situation that used to make you nervous, and you're just a little calmer,
A little more steady.
a little less in your head.
Exactly. And that's such a big win, even if it feels small.
You know what's funny though?
What?
The things that used to scare you the most eventually become normal.
That's so true.
Like, you remember how intense it felt the first time?
Oh, I remember very clearly.
And now you look back and think, why was I that nervous?
I know, it feels almost dramatic now.
A little bit, yeah.
But I think that's just part of growing. At that moment, it was a big deal.
Yeah, and every new experience feels big until it becomes familiar.
And then something else comes along to challenge you again.
It's like a cycle.
I also think mindset changes how you interpret everything.
What do you mean?
Like before, you might see a difficult question as a problem.
But now you might see it as an opportunity.
Exactly.
That's a huge difference.
Because instead of thinking, oh no, I don't know this, you start thinking, okay, how can I approach this?
And that small change in thinking can completely change your response.
And your confidence too.
Confidence really comes from experience, not just preparation.
I agree. Preparation helps, but experience builds that inner belief.
That feeling of, I've handled something like this before.
Even if not exactly the same, you trust yourself more.
And trust is everything.
It really is.
Because once you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing every little thing.
And you stop overanalyzing your own words while you're speaking.
Which, by the way, is so exhausting.
Oh my God, yes.
Trying to think, speak, and judge yourself at the same time?
It's impossible.
Literally impossible.
I think one of the biggest changes is how you handle pressure.
Yeah, because pressure doesn't go away.
It just feels different.
Exactly.
Instead of overwhelming you, it starts to feel manageable.
Like something you can work with instead of something you're fighting against.
And that's when you start performing better without even trying too hard.
Because you're not forcing it anymore.
You're just being present.
Presence is such an underrated skill.
It really is. Just being fully in the moment, listening carefully, and responding naturally.
Instead of thinking about what's coming next or what already happened.
You know what else changes?
What?
Your expectations.
In what way?
You stop expecting everything to go perfectly.
And that actually makes things better.
Exactly, because you're not putting that unrealistic pressure on yourself.
And when something doesn't go perfectly,
You just move on,
instead of getting stuck on it.
which used to happen a lot.
A lot.
Like one small mistake would ruin your entire mood.
And then affect everything else.
It was like a domino effect.
Yeah, one thing goes wrong and suddenly everything feels wrong.
Even when it's not.
I think another important part is learning how to stay grounded.
That's a good one.
Like reminding yourself that it's just one moment, not your entire future.
That perspective helps so much.
Because when you think of it as everything, the pressure becomes huge.
But when you see it as just one step in a bigger journey,
It feels lighter.
and that lightness shows in how you carry yourself,
Yeah, you come across more relaxed, more natural.
and more confident without even trying.
You know what I've realized?
What?
Most of the fear comes from imagining worst-case scenarios.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we create these situations in our heads that probably won't even happen.
And then we stress about them for no reason.
Exactly.
Our imagination really works against us sometimes.
Sometimes, I'd say most of the time.
Okay, fair enough. I think once you start focusing more on reality instead of imagination,
Things become a lot simpler.
you deal with what's actually happening, not what might happen.
And that's when you really start to feel in control.
Not in a forced way.
But in a calm, natural way.
And I think that's the biggest transformation.
From fear to control.
From overthinking to clarity.
From pressure to presence.
And even though the situation itself doesn't change,
You change.
and that changes everything.
And the best part is,
What?
once you reach that point, you realized it was never as impossible as it felt in the beginning.
Yeah, it just felt that way.
And now, instead of avoiding it,
You're now ready to face it again.
with a completely different mindset.
And maybe a little bit of confidence this time.
Maybe a little more than just a little.
Okay, let's not get too confident.
Yeah, let's stay humble.
Always. But you know what's interesting? There's a fine line between confidence and overconfidence.
Oh, definitely. And sometimes people don't even realize when they cross that line.
Exactly. Like, confidence is calm, but overconfidence can come across as careless.
Or even a little arrogant.
Yeah, and that's not the impression you want to leave.
I think real confidence is actually very quiet.
That's a good way to put it,
You don't feel the need to prove yourself constantly.
because you already trust what you bring to the table.
And that trust doesn't mean you know everything.
It just means you're okay learning what you don't.
Exactly.
I've noticed that people who stay humble tend to leave a stronger impression
I agree, because they feel more genuine.
and easier to connect with.
You know what can be tricky, though?
What?
Balancing confidence with humility in the moment.
Oh, yeah, that's not easy at all.
Because you don't want to undersell yourself.
But you also don't want to oversell.
Exactly. It's like finding that perfect middle ground.
And sometimes when people get nervous, they go to extremes.
Either too quiet,
Or too much talking.
yes, there's no in between.
It's like I'm either saying nothing or I'm saying everything.
No filter at all.
None.
I think that comes back to self-awareness again,
Yeah, being aware of how you're coming across in real time.
which is not easy, by the way,
Not at all.
because you're already thinking about your answers.
And then on top of that, you're trying to manage your tone, your expressions.
It's a lot happening at once.
A lot.
But I guess that's why practice helps so much.
Yeah, because it makes all those things feel more natural over time.
So you don't have to think about every little detail,
And when things feel natural, that's when you really shine.
because you're not forcing anything.
You're just being yourself.
You know what I've realized?
What?
People can tell when you're trying too hard.
Oh, instantly.
It's like there's this pressure in your voice,
Yeah, like you're trying to be perfect.
and it actually makes things less comfortable.
Whereas when you're relaxed,
Everything flows better.
your answers, your tone, your body language, everything.
And I think that's where humility helps.
How so?
Because when you stay humble, you're not trying to prove that you're the best.
You're just showing what you can do.
Exactly.
And that feels more real.
Much more real.
Also, I think staying humble makes it easier to handle feedback
That's a really good point.
because you're open to learning instead of feeling defensive.
And that mindset can really set you apart.
You know what's funny though?
What?
Sometimes people think humility means downplaying everything.
Oh, yes, like saying, oh, it was nothing, even when it was something.
Exactly.
That's not humility, that's just not giving yourself enough credit.
Right, there's a difference.
A big difference.
You can be proud of your achievements and still be humble.
Absolutely.
It's all about how you express it.
And I think when you get that balance right,
That's when you come across as both confident and approachable.
which is a powerful combination,
Because people don't just want someone capable.
they want someone they can work with comfortably. And comfort comes from authenticity.
Not perfection.
It's funny how we always come back to the same idea.
Yeah, just being real.
Sounds simple.
but not always easy.
Not at all. But I guess that's the journey, right?
Yeah, learning how to be yourself in situations where you feel the most pressure.
And doing it with confidence.
And a little bit of humility.
Actually, maybe more than a little.
Okay, yeah, definitely more than a little.
Let's keep it balanced.
Always balanced.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And honestly, if you can walk away feeling like you stayed true to yourself, that's already a win.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not just about how things go, it's about how you feel about it afterward.
Exactly. That feeling of, I did my best, is way more important than trying to be perfect.
And the funny thing is, when you stop chasing perfection, things actually start going better.
Isn't that ironic?
Very ironic.
I think the whole experience teaches you something bigger than just the moment itself.
Definitely. It teaches you patience, confidence, and how to handle pressure.
And maybe most importantly, how to trust yourself.
That one takes time, though.
Yeah, it doesn't happen instantly.
But every experience adds something,
Even the ones that don't go as planned.
especially those ones.
And eventually, you reach a point where you're not as afraid anymore.
You still feel the nerves.
But they don't control you.
Exactly.
You know what I love about this whole journey?
What?
It's not just about improving in one situation, it actually helps you grow in so many areas of life.
That's so true.
You become better at communicating,
Better at thinking on your feet?
and definitely better at handling pressure.
And maybe even a little more confident in general.
Yeah, not just in these moments, but everywhere.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, something that feels so stressful at first ends up making you stronger.
Life works in funny ways.
It really does.
And I think the biggest takeaway is just keep going.
Keep learning.
Keep improving.
And don't be too hard on yourself along the way.
Because everyone is figuring things out as they go,
No one has it all perfectly together.
no matter how confident they look,
Exactly. We're all just learning, step by step.
and getting a little better each time.
And if there's one thing to remember,
What's that?
just show up as yourself.
Simple, but powerful.
Very powerful.
All right, I think that's a perfect place to wrap things up.
Yeah, this was a really great conversation.
It really was.
And to everyone listening,
We truly appreciate you spending your time with us.
it means a lot.
So thank you for listening, for being part of this journey, and for tuning in.
We hope you found something helpful, something relatable, or even just something that made you smile.
And maybe even laugh a little.
Hopefully more than a little.
Yeah, hopefully. Take care of yourselves,
Stay confident
stay humble.
and keep growing.
We'll catch you in the next one.
See you soon.